Well, hi, NicNackers. All right, so the other day I was at Walmart and I was getting some more of the half-gallon jars for my dehydrating. And there in the canning section, I saw the Mrs. Wages pasta sauce. Now, I've made the salsa numerous times and I think it's delicious. And I'm a huge spaghetti fan. Love it. It's one of my favorite meals. So I had a bunch of jars of assorted kind of tomatoes. I had crushed and diced tomato sauce. And then to make up the difference, I threw in a jar of my home canned tomatoes. So I have 2 packages of the Mrs. Wages, and on the back, the directions tell you how to prep the tomatoes because it calls for 6 pounds. But then when you get down into the how to make it, it says that you should have about 10 cups of tomatoes. So what I did was I just took all of my tomatoes and I measured them out. And for 1 package, I need 10. So obviously for 2, I need 20. So in my pot here, I have 20 cups of the assorted tomatoes that I had on hand. And so it also calls for a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then of course 1 package of this. So we're supposed to combine the tomatoes, the sugar, a 1/4 cup of sugar. So that is for 1 package. And normally when I'm making recipes that call for sugar, a lot of times I will leave the sugar out. But in this case, I know that when I'm making my spaghetti sauce, I always put in a sweetener. Normally I will use molasses, but this is calling for sugar, so I'll use the sugar for now. That helps to cut down on the acidity of the tomatoes, so I'm not going to leave it out in this instance. And add the pasta sauce mix. So we're going to do that. And I'm going to take a smell of it just so I can see what it smells good. Doesn't really smell as spaghetti-y as I would have expected. But we'll see what it's like once it's combined with the tomatoes, you know, I mean, that is what spaghetti sauce is mostly tomatoes. So that's got a tear right there down the middle. So that's where I'll do that one. All right, so let's see if I need to get this up to boiling. Bring mixture to a boil, stir occasionally, reduce heat, and simmer for 25 minutes. Stir occasionally, pasta sauce is ready. Then we can immediately serve it, we can freeze it, or we can do it where I'm going to be doing today, and we can can it. So let's see, we're going to be leaving 1-inch headspace. And, oh, that's interesting, 1-inch headspace, and we're going to be water bath canning. Normally, it calls for 1/2-inch headspace, but in this case, it's going to call for 1, so that's all right. And this is only for pints, so that's interesting. Okay. Normally, I do my spaghetti sauce in quarts, but I will follow, this is the tested, so I will follow it for 40 minutes. So for our altitude, we'll add the 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to get this mixed up. I'm going to get it heated up, and then of course I'll do a taste test before I jar it up, but I'll bring you back for that. All right, so the spaghetti sauce has been cooking for about 45 minutes, I would say. It actually went longer than the 25 minutes, but it is ready now. And I did actually try it, and I had Becca try it with me. It's good. For me, it has a perfect amount of salt and sweet. It's got a really nice balance. There's something missing from it though, and I'm not sure what it is. But it is good. So I asked Becca what her thought on it was, and she told me that she thought it was really good. She did say that she thought that she liked it just a little bit more than the regular spaghetti sauce that I make, but she doesn't want to get rid of the other one altogether. She said if we could alternate that one and my homemade, that would be good. So that's probably what we'll do. So anyway, I'm going to start getting these bottled up and into the canner. I have it at a little different angle, just because I thought I'd switch it up a little bit. I'm not sure I like how close it gets on me, but for right now I have some a planter box behind you and some stuff on that counter from dishes that I can't move quite yet. Otherwise I would move you back just a bit, which would be nice, but oh well, it is what it is. So we'll get these jarred up, and remember these are going to have a 1-inch headspace. And I think alternating or having different textures of the tomatoes is going to be really nice in this. The crushed, there's some chunks in there, the sauce, I think it'll be really, really good. Oh shoot, I didn't put my lids in there. That's important. So let's see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Got my hot water ready, but I forgot to put the lids in. 6. 7, 8, 9. All right. And as most of you probably already know, we don't actually have to soak the lids anymore, but I just feel more comfortable when I do it that way. So I'm continuing to soak them, even though we don't have to. And give you a nice little close-up of that. You can see it does have the nice chunks of the, there's garlic in there, I can see, in the herbs and spices and stuff, but like I said, for me, it's missing something and I can't quite put my finger on it. I'm almost wondering if maybe it's missing basil. I know some recipes I've seen call for oregano and don't call for basil, and I'm almost wondering if that's what it's missing. So when I do make it up, I normally use a quart, so I'll be using 2 of these when I make up a batch of spaghetti. But I'll add some basil to it and see if that kind of gives me that missing flavor that I'm wanting. But otherwise, this is really, really tasty. All right, jar number 2. So they are all covered with water, and I'm going to turn the heat up and get it to boiling. Get the lid on, and once it's boiling, it will go for 45 minutes. I will bring you back when we're taking them out of the canner. All right, so the sauce is done. We'll get it taken out of the canner. And now I have probably about, let's see, it's 2 and almost a half pints left. So I think what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to wash a couple of half pints and can it up in half pints. I have been thinking about the taste of the pasta sauce, and it tastes more like pizza sauce to me. So I'm going to can some up in half pints and use it as pizza sauce when I'm making pizza. So I'm going to get these taken out and get my jars washed up, and once those are canned up in the half pints, I'll show you those as well. All right, the little half pints of pizza sauce are done. So I'll get these out. We'll let them set for a day. Should be just about the perfect size for a pizza. Got quite a bit more out of that than I thought I was going to. It's good for the pantry. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.